Good evening, Arizona. So, I am Seth Kinzer, and I would just like to share with you, before I get started, my signature high kick. It looks like this. Woo! I am the third person on the agenda, and attention, I know, can start to wane at this point. And so my goal and my intention is to bring energy and excitement back into this room, and to keep it going throughout the rest of the night. So let's do that, all right? So I remember being at my first RDC 4 years ago, actually 5 years ago, and I remember going up to Curtis JQs, and my manager was like, hey, you need to go cross-train with this guy, you need to get to know him, you need to pull him aside. And I remember thinking, like, I've sold all of like $40,000 in career sales, I'm brand new to this, like everyone's clamoring for his attention, like why would he talk to me? And what was awesome, he's like, because he's there. Find him when he's not, when people aren't clamoring for attention. It was crazy. There are people like Curtis and Josh, where right after they give a talk, people will be clamoring for their attention. And then like 20 minutes later, they're totally free to ask questions, to grab their cell phone number, to reach out to them, to set stuff up for the future. But I can tell you, when I was at that event, meeting Curtis was one of the pivotal things in my Cutco career. I remember I was at $40,000 in career sales. That year, I had sold another 40 up to June. I met Curtis. I got signed up to go cross-train with him. I got on an approach and scripts before scripts were even a thing that people shared. And the rest of the year, after selling $40,000 the first 6 months of the year, I sold $140,000 the next 6 months. That's an opportunity that's here for everyone. You have the opportunity to network, to meet people, to pick their brains. I feel like at these conferences, some of the most influential and pivotal experiences from them have been when I'm not even in the conference, when I'm having a one-on-one conversation with a top person in our company. It's awesome. I know there's a variety of people. Some of you are like, this is your first conference. You're like me, brand new. I was like, why would they talk to me? I'm nobody. I guarantee that somebody in your office feels the same way about you. It's easy to like, put people up on a pedestal and think like they're so much better than me, I could never be there. I remember thinking that same thing when I was here 4 or 5 years ago, being like, I just wish I knew everything that they knew. The cool thing is, you get a chance to dive in with us, to learn what we know, and to grow your results as a result of that. So my challenge is, have fun, be engaged, and get excited. I think you guys all got a handout. So that handout's gonna have basically my three, I guess, main intentions, right? So when it comes to closing Cutco customers at the booth, right? So the first key or first point we're gonna be talking about is engaging Cutco customers, right? How do we do that effectively? I think it's really, really simple to engage a Cutco customer if you're present at the booth. A show of hands here, like everyone's worked an event, right? Cool. So you guys have all experienced this where you're like watching, and you're paying attention, and you see somebody coming down the aisle, like, oh honey, look, the Cutco booth. And if you don't say anything, a lot of times they just keep walking. They're like, oh cool, like yeah, no, we have the knives. Like, oh, they're great. No, we've had them for 20 years, they're awesome. They keep walking. And if you're not intentional, if you're not present, they can very easily walk right by. I remember watching this happen when I was at a booth, and like, I watched Josh Muller literally go, like, he followed the customer all the way down. He's like, wait, you have it? You have Cutco? You have these? They're like, yeah, we do, they're great. He's like, oh, but come here, you gotta sign something. And they're like, what? He's like, come here. And he pulled him in, and he engaged him. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that was stalkerish. That was weird. He's like, he like followed him. He's like, hey, you have this? I've watched Jason do the same thing, right? That's key number one. Happy customer list. Have something that